Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? What's up, Bloobs, Mick Chew, Ben Toombs, Robert Lonis? That was quick. All four of you. How y'all doing? Um, Steve Parsons, Insanity Forge. Ain't seen you in a hot minute. Paul Fontanini, how you do? I figured it would be as soon as I go live, everybody would rush in. Uh, What up, what up, what up? Just first things after, I should definitely be able to be in the shop tonight, unlike last week where I couldn't get out there. So I will be working and finishing that snake, hopefully. um, but yeah. Uh, it's been a long week. Um, we have here uh, Sully Solbertson, how you doing? Oh, you tossed on video. Um,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
and I'm
Morning, everybody.
supposedly on party mode. There it is. I've got to have the thing selected, so you shake when you talk.
Right, right, yeah.
And we've got Adam over at Spurger's Forge. Spurger's Forge.
Oh, I know. I would share my camera, but I currently look like uh, three date old hammered crap at the moment. I've had a long week.
Well, that's not better than me. I just got in from work like 20 minutes ago, so.
Yeah.
But Sally, you always look spectacular.
Oh, well, thank you, thank you. I do try hard. This face, as horrible as it is, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. This one costs nothing.
With the right amount of neglect, you too can look like this.
Yep.
Right. If you try hard enough, right?
If you don't try hard enough, you too can look like Yamas. What's up, Robert? Insanity Forge, are you attending the conference in Murfreesboro, Tennessee? No, I am not. I don't, as of right now, I don't have much time to visit anything and go anywhere. In addition to that, this past week, diesel in my area has hit 575, 576, and rising. So I ain't going nowhere. I mean, fingers crossed, the price comes down or I strike it rich before September to be able to go to Quad State. But with the price of gas, I'm going to be saving up right now for Quad State. I'm missing actually. I'm going to be missing an annual get together for the Quad Squad. So
I'm actually kind of sweating that one myself.
Yeah, I can't make it. I absolutely can't make it. I just ain't no way I can spend
Sweating that one
justifiable.
myself.
Yeah, I can't make it.
Ugh.
But to spend like $400 round trip for a weekend, as much as I love it, it's worth it. But I don't have it, and I'm not borrowing it because, you know, and so it would just be it would be rough.
I don't know about that cheaper to fly, man. Well, that's that. Because right now
that
it
uses
costs
gas
me.
too.
I know, right? That's kind of the point. I mean, like jet fuel's running like $10 a gallon. So, yeah. I was gonna say a plane ticket right now to Ohio would cost me about the same as what I paid for somebody's first class ticket from Europe. So,
Yeah, insanity. If
yeah.
it's a 2 hour drive, absolutely. If there was an event going on, like in the OBX or in southern southeastern Virginia, I'd absolutely try to attend it. But I mean, aside from that, the events that are going on around me right now, they're all like midweek. Like Wednesdays, they do stuff up at my guild, and it's like I get off of work at 4 or 5, and it's about an hour drive to some of these like pirate days and stuff like that, and it's just not conducive for me to roll up there, you know. Let me do something here. Hide, show. There we go.
Boom. Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to do my damnedest to make it, but it's not a 2-hour drive for me. It's a 32-hour drive. Yeah. Who doesn't love that? Well, I mean, I guess technically it's a 22-hour drive, but I'm too old to drive straight through. I can't do that stuff anymore. I gotta. I drive from daylight to dark, and then wake up and drive daylight to dark.
What's up, Shane? Yeah. So I mean, eventually, fingers crossed on some of my investments, in the next couple years, I will be able to soft retire from electrical and have the time to focus on Island Metal Forge solely and specifically. And when I do that, that will be including doing, occasional touring where I take, a couple of months off and go, put everything in the trailer and, do a cross-country trip and stop and visit forges, blacksmiths along the way, just for the fun and for the community. I'm not able to do that right now, but eventually that is one of my plans. Yeah, exactly. Go and hang out at Troy's gatherings, start random gatherings. Just, if I do that, if and when I do that, I'll have a Starlink thing right up on my trailer, so I'll have like solid internet the whole time, always, and I will be live streaming the entire journey. It'll be like a 3-month long live stream. I don't know, but
Stream.
huh?
Go for the record of the longest live stream.
Oh yeah, well, like you can watch me sleep. So to the weeks. My week, quick and simple. Before we move on to the other guys, my week, quick and simple. Had a nor'easter blowing through all week. Houses getting pushed into the ocean, roads getting washed over. Basically a hurricane in all but name. And then that ended officially like yesterday or Friday. Yesterday was about 50, 40, or 48, 50 degrees and windy and rainy. And today is no wind, 78 degrees and 99% humidity. So it feels like 113 degrees out there. Woof. So yeah, fun times. I didn't get much done in the shop. I've got to do some repairs to my forge hood. But tonight's show, if I don't get that done, I will be doing it. Actually, I think I need to do it on propane anyway because of the length of the snake that I'm going to be working on. But yeah, that's about my week. Let's move on to one of you. How was y'all's weeks?
I'll go first because it looks like Sally's still a little bit busy trying to organise the his microphone. Her microphone, sorry. So my week, of course, I had this was my off week, but most of this week I actually spent preparing for what I did this weekend, which was Fred's Path Rural Show, agricultural show where I'm located. So I got invited there along with as part of my historical European martial arts group, Chaos Horde. So we went there. We did sword fighting demonstrations, presented arms and armor of all sorts, and yeah. So we did that, and as part of that, I loaded up just about all of my my workshop, which has been just under a tarp, onto the back of my ute, and or on my truck, as you guys would put it, and drove it the 40 odd k's to where this. The 20 miles to where this show was, and spent the weekend there doing live demonstrations out in the open air. Yes, very very hot, and Friday afternoon it had actually rained here. Even though it's supposed to be dry season, it's supposed to be not rainy season. It rained Friday, which meant that our humidity was up around 80-90%, and our temperatures were up in the late 20s, early 30s. So it was really, really hot. I think our 30 degrees is something like your guys' 90 degrees, 90 to 100. So it was up in temperature and up in humidity. It was hot, sweaty, and slightly uncomfortable. But in 2 days, I managed to forge. Whilst doing demonstrations, I managed to forge a hammerhead into a war pick. Reason why I did that was because, of course, it fell into the aesthetic that we were doing with the historical European martial arts, and I turned a bit of a truck leaf spring, and luckily I had an offsider into a basically a 14-inch long blacksmith style knife. So it was huge. It was a short sword, basically, and sharpened those both up, and then did a demonstration at the end of today before we packed up to show just how effective a file can go on sharpening a weapon like that. And yeah, then did a bit of a sword fighting display, packed up and went home. And needless to say, I've discovered that I have around a ton's worth of equipment. For just my manual forging, not including my forge press or anything like that. Just loading my stuff up into my util or my truck is rated to 1 ton, and my springs. Well, if I hit a bump too hard, my tire would scuff the underside of my tray.
Yikes.
It was that loaded. Yeah, so like she was to the limit. And it's kind of like, next time I do something like this, I'm gonna have to make 2 trips because I don't really feel comfortable doing it with one anymore. But on that note, I've discovered that I really, really love truck cranes. You know, the cranes that you put on the back of your bed. I fell in love with those. I bought a 500 kilo or 2,000 pound truck crane to help me load my stuff, and oh my God, did that make my life so much easier? It's so much easier. For 300 Australian dollars, that was just the best investment I've made for a while. So yeah, so that was my weekend, guys.
All right. Nice. That's
Yeah, boy, it sounds like your truck was running squatting about the same way Yamez's. I think it was an Explorer that he drove up to Hans's house.
yeah.
Man, had all his equipment in the back, had all Bob's equipment in the back, and I was like, man, you better hope you make it before dark because you ain't gonna be able to see nothing.
The headlights, the headlights were pointing up. That was insane.
Oh yeah. So my week was actually fairly tame, but busy. I mean, all I did was work. I had 1 day off this week, which is a rarity. Yeah. Well, wait. Let me see. When did I come back? Yeah, I don't remember. Anyways, Monday. Yeah, I came back Monday. So I didn't work Sunday and I didn't work Wednesday, but still got 81 hours in. So at a certain point, though, what is it? I think Monday was my daughter's birthday, and my youngest daughter, and I called my oldest one, and I was like, "Hey, I'm fixing to go to bed. Call me this afternoon when you pick up Morgan, and that way I can tell her happy birthday and all that." And she's like, "Okay." And then I woke up, and it was 7:30 a.m. the next day. And I was like, oh wow, I can't believe I slept that long. And then I was like, oh man, my oldest daughter was supposed to be on my alarm clock to wake me up in mid-afternoon. Yeah, no, didn't work. But the way I figured is all them days, because I don't think I've slept more than 4 hours at a time in 2 or 3 months. And I mean, it just kind of all caught up to me. And yeah, I slept smooth through 16 hours, something like that. So That was well needed, but very inconvenient timing. Other than that, I really didn't do anything all week. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Sounds very relaxing there, Sally.
What's that?
I said, sounds very relaxing.
Oh yeah, well the sleep was relaxing. I can guarantee you that because that only happens like every 18 months to me. Yeah, I don't usually sleep more than I don't know 6 hours is usually about the max. Um, and I don't know why. It's just I just wake up, and if I happen to go to bed too early, like 10 o'clock at night, oh my gosh, that just sucks because then I wind up waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning, going, oh, what do I do now?
I did that the
Uh,
other night. I fell asleep like way too early. I think it must have been Friday night because it sure wasn't last night. Um, like 10:30 when I usually stay up till about 11:30 midnight and just out. And I was up at 6 and I'm like, this isn't right. On a Saturday, this isn't right.
right.
Yeah.
Or so, like on my week off, that's when my partner goes to work. So, 4 o'clock in the morning is the time I'm generally awake.
Right. But man, yeah, so I mean we've all had these crazy busy weeks except, Sully, getting a day off. Come on,
Well,
man.
it's honestly,
On your day
it's
off, did
not.
you do a lot of stuff?
Yeah, I slept. Remember?
No, I don't. In your dreams, did you do a lot of stuff?
I don't
I'm,
remember either.
I'm sorry. I was playing with polls in the chat.
No, I know. I was
I was
participating.
I was half listening.
The
uh,
Yeah, I mean, because there are weeks where I only work 3 days, but still get better than 60 hours in. Um, this was then there are weeks like this that are 80 hours, and I work 5 days, and then sometimes there are weeks that are a little bit worse where it's 120 hours, and I work every dang day, and
yeah,
those are pretty nice come payday, but
it's
uh, it,
like
it it beats you to death.
last week, week before last really screwed me up hours wise because it's like I was busy, 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 but it was mostly driving, and like I think I got like 30 something hours. I know, nowhere near 80, you know, but it's like it felt like a 40, 50 hour week. And no, it wasn't like, once I, calculated it all up, it's like, man, because there was a few days where something had moved schedule, and instead of filling it, that gap, it's like, we had to do our morning job and then wait till like 2 to go to our next job. So it's like I had like 4 hour lunches and stuff. And it's like out in the field, but like, waiting for the next job. I'm at work, but not really working. I can't be on the clock for that. That's ridiculous. You know. What's up, Hubcap? So, so yeah, it's like long week, but not a lot of pay. Payable hours, billable hours. You know. But but yeah.
Always good fun. So
I,
yeah, so as everyone can see behind me, when I unpacked my ute, my truck, I just brought everything in and pretty much dumped it in a pile right there. So I have my swords there, I have my costume, I have just over there is my swag, which is our canvas style, it's an Australian canvas style, all-in-one sleeping bag. It's got a mattress in there, canvas to keep the water off. If it starts to rain, blanket, pillow, all that type of thing. It's only a really thin mattress, but yeah. So basically, I walked after I unloaded all my tools off the ute, just walked, grabbed all my stuff, walked inside, and dumped it because I went and had a nap. I needed one after that day.
yeah. Yeah.
So, do you guys have anything like the swag in the US?
Swag.
I know it's a typical swag. I know it is an Australian thing because Australians have a history of the swagmen and stuff like that. But yeah, do you have anything like that?
Well, when you say swag, okay, so when you go to a convention or something, conference, and you go, go table to table, and you get all the freebies or whatever, like when they, for example, I did when I was a chef, we did like food rep conferences where we go like, and try out all the different foods and this and that, and we'd get swag, would be, t-shirts, hats, freebies, that you take home with you, that's what we call swag. Um, a bag full of your camping gear or something, I'd call a pack out bag. That's me. People call it whatever they'll call it. Camping bag, pack out bag, your gear. But
See, this isn't all my camping gear. That's just my bedding.
yeah,
So that's just a mattress, my sheets, blanket, pillow wrapped in a canvas cover. That's my bedding.
very cool, Mr. Lomas.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah,
I'm sure there's as many different.
yeah, it's a bedroll there, Insanity.
Yeah. Need to get me a pair of pickup tongs. Any suggestions? Aside from making a pair, I mean, I know Blacksmiths Depot sells a pair or has a pair. There's a few places, find a tong maker and order one. Uh, you know,
Uh, sorry, I left my lights on the big truck, and that was going to be particularly problematic at about 6 hours when I got to go back to work. So I had to go take care of that.
right? Make sure you don't drain your battery.
Well, I mean, they are all LEDs, but there's a lot of them, and yeah, and I would rather not have to call the office and be like, "Hey, where's the mechanics at? I need a jump start."
Morning, Danimals. Right. Well, from swag to steel, I think that's a good segue, not the kind you ride, unless you're riding it into a transition in the conversation, uh, to our medal of the week, if we are ready for that.
Medal of the week. And I still, and if I had had like an extra hour, I'd have had a whole intro set up for
Hey,
that.
Curtis. Yeah.
No luck. No luck. All right. So let me see. All right. Well, and I just want you to know, I mean, we had to kind of scramble this morning, and see you, Adam.
I did the
Nice
research.
we had to kind of scramble this morning, and so to be fair, we're just kind of winging it, sort of, so to speak.
Yeah. Hey, Dana.
I don't even know if that came through or not. So
The first piece did.
okay. So today we're talking about S7 tool steel. Now I don't know squat about S7 tool steel, even though I have a piece of S7 sitting right over here behind me underneath the microwave.
I got a piece of
So S7 tool steel is a air hardening or oil hardening tool steel characterized by its shock resistance, thus the S in S7 shock. It has excellent toughness, high compression strength, and medium wear resistance. The exceptional toughness and shock resistance quality of the steel make it a great option for a variety of tooling applications. S7 is a versatile tool steel and can be used for cold or hot work applications. Typical applications of S7 tool steel are punches, dies, plastic molds, chisels, shears, forming dies, hobbled dies. In our neck of the woods or line of business or whatever the heck you want to call us here. Typically, we use it for things like punches and chisels and stuff like that, and for dies in presses and
Very
what are
versatile.
those things? Boom, 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 hammers, power hammers. So it's very versatile and it handles the striking very well. And let's see, typical analysis. Oh, okay, here we go. S7 is 0.5 carbon. So that's pretty decent right there. 0.5% carbon, 0.7 manganese, 0.3 silicon, 3.25 chromium. That's actually pretty high in the chromium. I didn't expect that. And then 1.4 molybdenum. And
What's up, Aaron? Yeah, I've sent you a whole cut sheet for it, or a whole list.
no, I know. I am totally just like going over the stuff that you sent me, the links that you sent me while I was driving in this morning.
Oh yeah, I'm horrible at research. It says
Yeah, I know. This is not the research material that I would have picked, but it is what I have. And when I did, in addition, look up the Wikipedia, which did not exist. It just kind of went to general tool steel in Wikipedia, so it didn't really give me any further insight, so to speak. Heat treatment of ASTM S7, heat treating in between 1744 to 1999 Celsius. And I don't have that in freedom units right off the top of my head, but yeah, whatever.
what's the Celsius?
1744 to 1744 to 2000.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
2000
That's what she
Celsius.
said. All right. Well, that's all I got. Close that out because I just used up both of my pages. Yeah. So hold on just a second.
Wow. 3,632 Fahrenheit is 2,000 Celsius.
Whoa.
That's the heat treatment?
That can't be right. That's what it said on. I already closed the page, but that's what it said. It said 14.7. I think that's what it said. 1477 to 2000 Celsius.
Might be the quench to get the highest hardness.
Yeah, could be. That could be like industrial.
That's that temperature's kind of that's a difficult to reach temperature for just a run of the mill forge there.
I could reach it in my sleep. What? That's what my body temperature is at night.
So what I have here is a piece of S7 that is very commonly found in my line of work. I work in the oil field. I move rigs, and well, this is a piece of sucker rod. That is the pin end, and I mean this is all we got. A buddy of mine found it on the road driving in from a job one day, and he's like, "Hey, I found this piece of sucker rod. You want it?" And I think I've got like 3 of those things now, and so that is a very typical application or a typical place to find used S7 in my neck of the woods. Not necessarily in my business though, because the sucker rod is more of a production end of things, and I'm typically on well sites that are 3 months from production, so they haven't even thought about rods yet by the time I leave. So I don't have access to it like I did say 10 years ago. 10 years ago I did a lot of work in smaller rigs, moving work over rigs and stuff like that, and a lot of times they'd come in and change out rods, and they'd send us in with a whole pile of messed up rods or whatever that they go into Tuboscope or whatever inspection place where they're basically just sold as scrap.
I mean,
for those of you that are wondering, S7 is also classified as ASTM A681, or if you're in Europe, 50 CR MOV13. That's the different classification for different parts in the world. Commonly, if you buy it from a bulk supplier, particularly one out of the US, it will be called S7. But yes, it does. I'm looking at so yeah, uh, that's the standard. And in Germany, yeah, it's the standard is that there the 50 CR MOV13 is the name, or 1.2355. Also has another grade in the US, but this generally goes as S7. That's the most common one.
Right. Now, I know that a lot of people do like hammer drifts and punches and stuff with S7 because, as I understand it, it is an air hardening steel. If you get it up to temp, you just set it off to the side, and it keeps hardening. Or is it a water?
No, it is air hardening,
Okay,
or
yeah.
oil. It says, but I think oil might be a little bit intense
Yeah.
for it.
But
Information I've got here, it can get a Rockwell hardness of up to 53 at 941 degrees Celsius, or 1725 degrees Fahrenheit, air cooled to 499 degrees Celsius for the
Yeah.
temper. So
that sounds.
basically.
I think, Sully, what I sent you was the, like, industry specs for that.
Yes, it was indeed. There
and-
was
and-
it was you sent me a information from a place that sells S7.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're talking about. So
Yeah, obviously.
3,600 degrees for yeah. I'll stick with the 1,700 that
Well, I mean, what was but you also just did the math on the high end.
I did do the math on the high end. I did.
What was what was the low end of 1,400 though? I mean, that's got to be around 22 to 25 maybe.
Yeah, so the low end is probably significantly closer to,
Yeah, and Bohr mentioned that can't be right because that it would be a melted pool at that temperature, and that sounds more likely to me. There we go. We got Roy in there with some actual hard information.
We're going off of quick searches for the info today in S7, and here comes Roy.
Yeah,
just
say
off the top of his head.
The information I've got here is forged temp is 2,000 to 2,050 degrees Fahrenheit. Stop forging at 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit to cool. Reheat generally 12 to 1,300. So that's the information I got, which pretty much matches up exactly with what Roy was just saying.
It's not off the top of his head. He's got a heat treatment dial, like one of them. When you get a prize in a cereal box, those decoder rings. He's got one of those for heat treating. So,
is that like finding your license in a cornflake box?
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm totally joking.
S7
I love you, Roy.
Preheat temp, 1,500 Fahrenheit hardening temp to equal 7. Words. Okay, words with a quenched hardness of 61 herc. My brain isn't braining today.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I just seriously, the chat just turned to gibberish to me for a second. Oh,
you can tell we're all extremely well prepared this morning, and even Adam pops in here with even better work than I was able to do. So, thank you, Adam, and thank you, Roy, for clarifying that. We kind of thought that information was a little bit screwy, but
Yeah.
as soon as I had already closed the page, it was kind of like pointless to.
let's take this.
Crack it
Let's take this as a lesson in teamwork. Okay. And I've said it before.
in team, Yamez.
Yeah, I've said it before. I got the jokes, Sully's got the smarts, and Adam's got the looks and the voice. My voice sounds like gravel being thrown down a hallway, and Adam's voice sounds like, taking nice smooth butter over a piece of toast. Just silky. And, it's like my brain is like, left on the side of the road and run over by a couple of truck tires, whereas Sully's brain is like crisp and yeah, right there. I'm just here. I facilitate this madness. I would be nowhere without these two. Like, nowhere. I'd be sitting here just reading the chat going, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, uh-huh. And that would be the show for an hour.
It's interesting, just the dichotomy in my brain.
I love it.
How some weeks we sit here and I do my prep usually two to 3 days in advance and get it all set up and have my links ready to go, and then some weeks it's like I come rolling in, pulling the Johnny bar, sliding her sideways and jumping out and just trying to get in before the show goes live and be like, all right, what are we doing? It's an Adam week. I don't have to research crap. And then,
yeah.
Nope.
I got nothing.
I got nothing. All right, let's see what we can put together real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yamez, Paul Orchard says I got an advantage though because I've got extra hair. Yamez, you're welcome to borrow it anytime you want. So I mean, if you ever need to get a little game going on, just let me know.
Yeah, I need to get me a wig. No, I just need to shave. I'm gonna shave today. No, do I have time to shave? Man, if I don't got time to work on my NFTs, I don't have time to shave.
What's the fix there, Yamas?
What?
I said, don't you have a forge there to fix?
I do. This nor'easter just destroyed my forge hood. It blew the top half of my chimney off, and that allowed this wind and rain to just pour down into my onto the top of my forge hood, and it just like you look at the barrel's fine, but the top is like this. So it's like I can't use my forge until I fix it. But that, I mean, for today, that's all right because I planned on using propane anyway because the freaking sneck is that long, So, and I'm going to be, forging the head of it and coiling it. So I need quite a bit of length or heated up.
I remember you saying about 2 years ago when you said, "Oh, when the top of this forge hood burns out and la la la, then I'm probably going to redesign it and make it look a little bit better and et cetera, et cetera." Well, didn't you say that? Didn't this a perfect time to do that?
Well, I've also rebuilt it twice.
Yeah, I do remember that conversation.
Yeah.
Well, not so much the conversation as the comment. So,
funny thing is,
this is just a temporary. The next time, yeah. And I was actually kind of wondering how your top was doing there because mine. I mean, I've basically got the same forge as far top wise goes. But the rain runs down my chimney, down the sides of it, on the outsides of it. I mean, because I thought I'd be cool and I put fire caulking around because I've got just a regular corrugated tin roof that I hammered a hole through and used tin snips to, it's not round, but I got the chimney through there, and then I caulked around it with fire caulking, thinking, because it's not gonna melt or whatever when it gets hot. Unfortunately, the fire caulking I bought, which was expensive as all get out, isn't waterproof because it rained and it just dissolved all the fire caulking and it all just kind of ran down my chimney and puddled up with the water on top of my forge. Now, every time it rains, the entire top of my forge is, sitting, I don't know, a centimeter deep in water, something like that. And I mean, I can't really remove it other than just like lighting the forge and letting it boil off. But for the most part, it just kind of dries on its own, and it's only a matter of time before the whole top is coming apart. I was just kind of wondering about yours because I built mine maybe 6 months after you rebuilt yours here a little while ago.
Yeah, well, I know like I have a stainless steel hood that I need to make a top transition piece, and I have, I think, a 15-inch or 12-inch or 15-inch vent stack. But to set that up, I was hoping to use that for the Robert Robinette Forge when I finally get a chance to get down to Texas and get it. That was going to be the hood for that, and I didn't want to mess it up before I got it, or mess up the vent that I have before I got it. And that is set. I have to cut a hole in the roof of my shop to run that up there in a completely different location from where my current forge is. If I were to do it where I have it now, it would be a new large hole on the bottom of a slope, so all the rain would go to it. So it's like I kind of can't, you know, I can't redesign it yet. I also don't have the plate. Basically what I'd be doing to fix it is find a large piece of plate steel, cut a circle out of it, cut a smaller circle in that, just slip it over to have a false top. That's my fix. And then, I don't have the time to get out and get more 8-inch duct to put a new topper on. So it's basically a Band-Aid for now, is what I'd be doing.
Right. So I'm kind of curious. All right, we got the forge update out of the way. So for you guys in the chat, do you guys ever use S7? If you do, what do you use it for? What do you think about it? What's your opinions on S7? I've actually never. I mean, I own 2 pieces of this sucker rod right here, S7. I've never even got it hot. I've never messed with it. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. So what are y'all's opinions of S7? And let me know what you think about it. And while they're waiting on the delay and catching up, Adam, any progress on your end as far as shopping?
Yeah. No, well, I've got so I'm still in the process of building my temporary shop. But I have put another couple of posts in. Now I've just got to do the trusses and put the tin on. So I'm on the home stretch. Would have done it this week, but kind of run out of time and motivation in prepping for everything else. Touch wood, it'll be my next off swing if I don't go away, because I'm actually supposed to be going to see Sam Towns, who, funnily enough, is the only person I personally know that has used S7. I'm not sure if he has used it for punches and drifts, hammers or knives. I'm not 100% sure exactly what he used for. I do know he has used it though. But I'm not sure how he used it. But yeah, so I'm supposed to go down and see him. Unfortunately, because of life, the accommodation I was supposed to have when I go down there has fallen through for the moment. So I might not have anywhere to stay, which means I have to postpone the trip. In the event that I postpone the trip, I'll have 3 weeks off. Because I won't be working because it was supposed to be a holiday, and so I can finish putting my temporary workshop together, which will be a fun little project for me, getting up on a ladder and hanging off a drill by myself.
Yeah, I've never forged with S7, but I have an S7 1/4-inch punch that I use for punching holes, and I like it. Ben Strickland, he's used it in a spring swedge and as bits in a fullering swedge. What's up, Canadian? I do know that back when I first started, I tried to get a hold of some S7 from my steel supplier, or let me rephrase it, from an old steel supplier, and for oyster knives, and I put in the order. 2 weeks went by. I called them to see how the order was going. Oh, we didn't put an order in for it yet. Okay. Another week went by. Called them. No, we didn't put an order in yet. I'm like, all right. They're like, well, we can get you D2, in the next shipment. I'm like, that's not what I need. Oh, it's just the same as S7. Okay. And I didn't know nothing back then. And I'm like, all right, let me get that. I needed in a 1/2 inch, square stock. And they're like, okay, we'll order you a 10-foot bar. All right. And they get it, and like it's the kind of place where if you order it, you got to pay for it, you know. And they ordered it, and it came in, and it was 3/4 square stock, hot or cold rolled of D2. And it was like, this isn't at all in any way, shape, or form what I need. Well, you ordered it, so you got to buy it. And it was like $60 more than what I was planning on spending. And it's like, all right. And then I looked up the heat treatment for D2, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. So I cut it up into pieces and gave it away. Yeah. But, yeah, so that's my experience with trying trying S2 or S7.
It's good for use wherever, but it's striking or struck tools. So yeah, anything that's going to come in contact with hot steel, but like I said, in my experience, it's got to be worked hot. It's got to, like, from the knowledge I've come across whilst looking into, because whilst I haven't personally worked S7, I have watched other people work F7 or know of other people who work S7. It's got to be hot, and as soon as it drops below, like, and I'm talking like yellow, orange hot. As soon as it drops below that orange hot, it's too cold.
So treat it like titanium?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wayne Heights, I have used S7 for my touch mark, slitting chisels, and my hammer eye punch. They have held up for 3 years. Nice.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's, you know.
Wayne, is it as tough to forge? You've actually forged it. Is it as tough to forge as I've been led to believe? It's got to be hot, and it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the results of this poll.
Well, I was just noticing. So I had, I got Discord open kind of in the background where I can see the video and all that, the video, and then I had the chat kind of overlaid and slid all the way off to the side where I could just see the chat there in YouTube. And when I've got the chat overlaid Discord, my party mode doesn't work. I was like, oh, what's going on?
I know. Well, you got to be focused on. Okay, so party mode is this, where when somebody's talking, the whole screen shakes, and there's confetti, and it's a party.
And I haven't even tried the confetti yet.
Yeah, you just click on somebody's icon and it pops up confetti.
That is so neat. I just typed a bunch of random stuff in the Elemental Forge thing, and yeah, confetti coming up off of there. Great minds, James. Great minds. Anyways,
you see, I need to come up with a touch mark myself instead of just using the air engraver to sign my name, but I don't even know where to begin with ideas. A touch mark for Denim.
Let you know, my touch mark is actually made out of H13, which is a little bit easier to get hold of than S7. It's readily engravable. I got my touch mark made by an engraver here in Australia. Did a fantastic job. So yeah, once you find a design, you probably want to do something that you're known for that can be tied to your name. That way, when it's when people see it, they're related to you. I mean, a lot of people call me a pirate. A lot of people in my area call me a pirate, which is why I come up with the pirate flag for my touch mark. Was personally designed, which is kind of, it's in the same, as far as I'm aware, same kind of vein as yours, Yames, in the sense you had the palms and crossbones.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, somebody saw my tattoo. They freaking love it. And like somebody at the gas station, they're like, "Dude, would it be all right if I got that same tattoo?" And I'm like, "Go for it."
Which tattoo?
My palm and crossbones.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That one. But yeah, my touch mark came from. I actually thought about it, and I kind of designed it around marketing. Uh, Island Metal Forge, skull and crossbones, metal, island, palm trees, you know, uh, and mixed the two, and kind of pulled designs from random bits of art or random bits of imagery, and put it together through Photoshop, and I'm like, all right, and luckily enough, I've got access to crossbone punches and palm tree punches, and put them together. Boom! I got a touch mark. You know, and I think by now it's widely recognized.
Who drew your logo there?
Me,
Oh, you did?
my logo,
Yeah,
like who designed it?
yeah.
I did. That's
Okay.
straight out of here. It's been refined since, over and over and over and over, through Photoshop, and that's why I got like 16 different iterations. But yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a purely out of here.
Yeah, I mean mine is pretty easy to remember if I ever forget it. It's just like
Right.
there and then
Adios, Dana. But
it's like, what's my temperature? Oh yeah, yeah, there it is. And now I got to build another one. So
yeah,
You keep picking copyrighted ones there, Sally.
what's that?
Don't you keep picking copyrighted touch marks? Like all your symbols have been copyrighted at some point in
No,
history?
no, 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 no. It's not copyrighted. At least not yet.
I know.
I never finished the paperwork to copyright it. But I just thought I wanted to snatch it up because MGM actually didn't copyright that symbol, and so I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do it. And I never got around to it, and then because I actually had the paperwork and all that, and I was working on the process, and then I decided I needed to change my touch mark just a little bit, and so I've actually got that kind of figured out. I just can't draw, so right now it's kind of just this rough scribble on paper that looks like a big pile of dog hair, and I'll get around to it eventually. And then I mean the current touch mark is still incorporated in it. It's just a little bit more complex now, and when I get around to it. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be complex enough that I don't think I really need to trademark it. But
Yeah, I
you know,
know.
the only reason I wanted to trademark this one here is because because of the whole the link to Stargate and all that. And I just thought it would be cool if I just snatched that trademark out from underneath MGM, who obviously doesn't care anymore about anything like that. But they don't own it anymore. Amazon does. So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't want to fight that battle.
yeah. I know. I've got the poor man's copyright on mine, uh, and eventually I will go and officially trademark, the palm and crossbones. Uh, but yeah, I haven't found a need for it yet. I don't see anybody uh, imitating me, so sad there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, the only reason I was going to copyright or trademark the my old touch mark was because of its basically it was designed for MGM and the Stargate franchise, and and so if I didn't trademark it, and they saw, and somehow it came to light that I was doing that, or using it to mark my work, they could potentially rush through a copyright in about a day and a half, and then send me a cease and desist letter. And I was like, well, I'll just beat them to the punch, no pun intended. And yeah, priorities. It kind of fell out of priority, and went by the wayside, which I'm kind of disappointed about now because I really wish I'd have followed through with that and put in the effort and got it done just so for at a turn I could say, yep, I own that.
Right. Yeah. Man, from S7 to touch mark. I suppose S7 to touch marks works because S7, is a common touch mark steel. You know. But
Yeah,
oh,
and I had my touch marks were done by I think it was Buckeye, the same people that did the coin merge stamps. Isn't that what it was?
yeah.
Yeah, it was because yeah. And I don't even know what steel they used. I don't know if it was S7
I
or
believe it's S7.
H13
I believe they use
I
S7.
I never did inquire.
Yeah.
But I could tell you though. I mean, I've had my touch mark for quite some time, and there's not even a dent on the end that you hit with a hammer.
Right. Oh,
And
mine
and
mine is.
and I have used it.
The coin merge stamps that I have, the struck end, it's got some marks on it. For sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean those are fairly large
Yeah.
logos. I mean, those are like the same size as Han's Forge Monster touch mark, which is so huge. I mean, you basically have to have a sledgehammer to make an imprint on hot steel.
Yeah. Definitely not a ball peen hammer kind of thing.
No, no,
I
it's not.
I use a 3 pounder to mark it.
It's not a pair of 1/8 inch number stamps from Harbor Freight. That's for sure.
Yeah. But speaking of which, I need to get some of those. uh, but yeah.
So Ben Toombs went with Buckeye as well. I see that, huh?
Yeah. But
I said to be a very popular engraver for touch marks in the US.
yeah, Buckeye and Honeck.
Two are Buckeye and Honeck, yeah.
Honeck
And
engravers and Buckeye.
and it's funny because people that initially deal with one talk them up and only want to use them, and people that deal with the other always just talk them up and want to use them. It's really weird. I mean, I assume that the quality of workmanship is very similar because I've seen the touch marks from both, and I mean they're basically the same thing. And maybe there's slight differences in customer service. I'm not sure because I've only ever dealt with Buckeye.
I do know.
But,
I do know that Buckeye, you go through their website, and Honeck, you've got to go through them through Facebook. I don't.
No,
No?
that's not entirely accurate. I mean, I knew people that just walked right up to Maria Honeck and
Oh yeah,
and,
if you walk up to her at a convention, yeah, or
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. I
conference,
mean,
absolutely. But I mean,
and
it's
I didn't go through the internet at all. I mean, well, okay, I emailed them for Buckeye. I got their email and I emailed back and forth with I don't know who the guy was, but
Brian.
I emailed him and asked him about sent him the design and he said, yeah, I need this kind of file. And then I found the file and I sent it to him and he's like, all right, give me a week, and then sent it back to me. And I was like, yep, that's it. And he said, what size? And I said, this size. And 2 weeks later, it showed up. So I mean, it was really painless and completely 100% through email. I didn't go through a website or anything, but
Yeah. But I mean,
and if I had to go through Facebook for Honeck to get, I would not do it. I mean, I think if you go to a level of exclusivity like that, you lose a large part of a market share.
To be fair, what I found, like for Honeck, it's like you look up Honeck engraving and only Facebook comes up, and I'll go there to their Facebook, and then they changed Facebook pages, so I went to their new Facebook page, which has their website to order, and it's like I think their Etsy is through that, but it's under a different name on their Etsy. So if you go to Etsy and look up Honeck, you're not going to find it. You got to go through their Facebook to get their Etsy link, and it was like what I was doing with the order for the coin merge marks is I was going with for a business, so I needed that, I mean, Honeck is great for the personal, like I'd like to get this here, go jump through these hoops to get to you and everything, and do it through Etsy. But I can't go to a corporation and be like, here it is, go through Etsy. It's like a website with email lists and submission forms and proof and this and that. Like I had to. So that's why I went through Buckeye. But yeah. Also, I couldn't find Maria Honeck at last year's Quad State.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
No, she wasn't
there. That was surprising because I wanted to talk to her, and
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I specifically, that was like one of two vendors that I specifically wanted to see, and did not show. So I was like, dang it.
Yeah. What's up, Dylan? Yeah, you coming in right at the end. We're getting ready to call it, I guess. Getting close to,
Yeah. Can't really go long today. I've still got to go to bed and get my beauty rest. Get ready to go to work at about 5:00 this evening.
Yeah. Standard size one should shoot.
Need it.
Standard size for a touch mark. I know a lot of people will do a small one, like 3/8 inch, and then a larger one, like 3/4 inch or whatever, to mark their different projects.
I would say smaller is probably better. I had no idea what I was doing, and I bought one that was 3/4 of an inch tall by maybe 1/2 inch wide, and it's a little bit large. I do a lot of work that I can't fit that on. I mean, the majority of, in fact, I mean, because like I do a lot of brackets and things like that, and my brackets are only a lot of my work is done out of 3/8 round and square. I can't fit my touch mark in any direction, so I have to like make my touch mark on that stuff from scratch with punches, and that kind of sucks. So
I know
I would start with a small one. And then later on, if you're like, yeah, I really want this to be more prominent, you get a bigger one. Because in hindsight, I wish I'd have gotten the smaller one first. And that was kind of, one of the things I wanted to talk to Maria about last year was like, hey, this is here's my touch mark. Right here. Can you do this and make it smaller? I mean, just because it was going to be handy. I mean, like I'm assuming I could just call Buckeye and get it done, but I've not been wanting to spend the money yet. So.
Well, I have a couple of thoughts on touch marks and size and all that stuff. And I don't mean it as an insult to any smith out there, but some smiths, they want their touch mark to be like they'll put it on the front of something, front and center. Like I got a buddy who makes bottle openers, and it's basically he's got a 1-inch touch mark. He does the simple bottle opener, church key style with a flat handle, and big old freaking touch mark of his on it, and it's part of the design. He does he makes and sells forged dice, and the one is his touch mark. And it's like, okay, and it, to me, though, a touch mark doesn't need to be, or in most instances, shouldn't be the primary focus. If I make like the touch mark for my that's on my jellyfish is kind of hidden. Like when you look at a piece, you're supposed to look at the piece, not the touch mark. Typical hammers on the side or on the bottom face. So it's like you can tell who made it, you can find who made it, but it's not, I put mine with the number on the side because that's the style I chose,
So you can see on these how much room those take up, and that's not a lot on the edge of a blade. And see that the one on that cable Damascus will end up getting sanded off, most of it anyways, because it rocked to one side, and but you can see they take up quite a bit of space there. But on a lot of the stuff I do, that's just too big. And so, eventually I'm going to get a smaller one. And these are just like some junk projects that I've got laying around that did not work out quite right. And chop, 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 chop.
Thing you've got to understand when you're looking at touch marks there, guys, is that if you have an intricate design like mine, then you might not be able to get a smaller touch mark because the fine details don't translate well to the engraving, and even if they can do it, they're not going to hold up well when you strike it with the back of that punch with a hammer.
Well,
So the simpler the touch mark design, the more robust it's going to be able to be, which means you're going to be able to do smaller ones. Whereas mine is quite intricate, so I had to basically go with a bit bigger touch mark. And I just have to live with that.
well, like Black Bear Forge, for example, he's got 2 touch marks. A small one, which is just the bear paw, and then a large one where it's Black Bear Forge John Switzer.
It just says Switzer.
Or does it say Switzer? Okay, yeah. I thought it was everything. But yeah,
No,
I mean, and it's fairly large, and
that's why Hans is the size it is. The Forge monster is because that's the small. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than mine, and that's the smallest they could make it.
Yeah. So there is always the option of having a small version, designed of your logo. Like mine is a detailed logo. For example, if I were to do a touch mark in detail, it would be a large touch mark. But I could also just do a simple, small, crossbone shape with a palm tree shape and have that done on a, 3/8 inch piece of steel. S7.
I'm just seeing how this pattern translates on the camera.
Make it bigger.
Enough.
There you go. Looks nice.
Yeah, this is a piece of cable off my truck that I also threw cast iron powder in. So that's why the black is so prominent on there. It's not quite as good as I wanted it to be, but
right.
And yeah, I think God, yeah, this has been sitting in my room on the shelf for well over a year.
Yeah.
About another year and I'll finish it.
Chatoyance. But yeah.
Favorite word, isn't there, Ben?
Ben Toombs. Does your touch mark Yamas say just throw away? I just fell off the couch laughing. What? You don't make any sense sometimes. You make about as much sense as a $3 bill.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I understood what he said too. I thought it was funny.
I don't understand it.
Does your touch mark say just throw away? As in,
that's the words of your touch mark says just throw away. So somebody picks up a knife made by you and it says just throw away on it.
Oh, no. Yeah. Wait.
That was a low flying Prius.
Yeah. Okay.
Ben. Hey, that 200 points, Ben. Points.
Discard after opening. No, you're a great joke, Ben.
There you go, Dylan. Points to you too. Yep. Discard after opening. That's a good one. Ben, that was great. Props, man. Props.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I believe this calls for another.
You started to pick on him at the start of the stream there, Yummers. So, the fact that he got one back on you is just like poetic justice there.
Hey, and I'm just gonna say it's not often that one comes through that well written. I'm just saying. Good on you, Ben.
Wait a minute. See, now I feel bad because I was gonna end it because I've got to like piss like a racehorse and I don't want to be like, all right, Ben made it funny. That's our show, folks. 8
That
votes
would
and
just make him even happier because he's like, yeah, you had the US Super burn so bad you had to end the stream.
yeah. All right. Well,
Way to kill the
yeah.
stream, Ben.
Yeah,
Or start the stream in Yaman's case.
I'm like distracted. I gotta piss so bad. Oh, my cheeks hurt.
Which ones?
Yes. Also, yes. You know, my cheeks hurt. What'd you have, a hot date? uh, uh,
So, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, you can find us every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That is currently 11:30 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time. You can find Yames on Island Metal Forge on all your favorite social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find Sully at Transcendental Artist Studios. Haha, I got it right. On Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, I believe. And you can find me, Adam, at Speargrass Forge on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Don't forget, if you have a suggestion for Metal of the Week, Tool of the Week, or any other topic you would like us to cover, you can leave that suggestion in the hashtag Metal of the Week title under the YouTube community chat on the Discord. Links in the description, or you can email it to us at islandmetalforge@gmail.com. Now, finally, is there any final thoughts for those of us that are still here?
Final thoughts.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I was going to say, my usual spiel, but yeah, no. Hey, guys, it's getting kind of warm out there, and it's going to be for, at least on our neck of the woods, maybe not Adam's, but it's going to be for quite a while now. So take care to keep track of your hydration. Don't overdo it out in the shop. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of us do this and we enjoy doing it. And so be mindful of keeping your own personal safety and health in mind, and drink plenty of water, put on your PPE, and make something. And more importantly, have fun while you're doing it.
Absolutely. My final thoughts: just waterfalls and toilets flushing. I can't think straight. No, just huge thanks. Huge thanks to all of you guys for showing up and tuning in. Huge thanks to Adam and Sully. We wouldn't be here as good as we are without them. And everybody give a big round of applause to them, and of course and always to our channel members. You all are fantastic. Appreciate the support. Fantastic. And that's our show. That's what I got. I'll see you guys later this evening for Forging with Yames.
Lovely night, guys. Catch you run.
Night.